Super Review Show here for episode 2 of Trekkies. Yes, I know it's been a while since I haven't done one in a while, so here we go. Oh, no, never mind. I'll tell you about that later. So, some first things first. Star Trek movie news. First up, we have the fact that Star Trek casting has updated itself with Linda Wilson. My guess is that she's going to be playing another member of the Enterprise is on the maybe not as important as Carol Marcus was in Into Darkness, but either way, I'm kind of happy that she's gonna. I'm happy that we have more female Enterprise members that could be an important role. So either way, I'm happy about that. Some other movie news that came out, or I should say TV news now that I think about it, because Patrick Stewart recently came out and said Picard is unlikely to return in any way, shape, or form for a while. I kind of went into this when I covered the story originally. So basically, what I'm thinking is that, I like this era of Star Trek, the way Kirk and Spock. That's the way it was originally. That's the way it was for the first 6 movies, and then came the Next Generation. I'm happy with, the Kirk and Spock group, but at the same time, I'm also very happy with, I love the Next Generation stuff as well. But I love that Kirk and Spock dialogue between the two of them, and Bones as well. And the cast is great, and the crew works together very well. But one of the things that I also think is I think that Paramount's going to go very well into the realm of just Kirk and Spock. Just Kirk and Spock, Bones, Uhura, Scotty, Chekhov, all those guys. Sulu, all the guys that we fell in love with in the Star Trek 2009 and Star Trek Into Darkness was definitely, I've really enjoyed them, and I think that we're gonna focus on that cast for a while. Also, this is a plug for IMDb. So in the Star Trek IMDb pages, so I looked around and I said, okay, this is Star Trek. So I said Star Trek 2009, okay, Star Trek Into Darkness, Star Trek Beyond. Okay, Star Trek 4 has an IMDb page because of Kirk and Spock. Because Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto a little while ago signed on for the 4th film. So if they ever do a 4th film, which they will, they're gonna bring those guys back easily. They will bring them back at a heartbeat because they're already signed on. But one of the things I was on the mobile version of IMDb, and I was like scrolling around, like, okay, and then I looked around, and there's a Star Trek 5 IMDb page for 2021. I don't know if that's official. I don't know if Paramount said, look, we're planning up to our 5th one. We're going to keep going. We're going to pump these things out like it's nothing, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Paramount with this. But all I know is that Star Trek's one of those franchises where it can go on for a while. You can build up enough stories and movies and just go and go and go and go and go. You could have the same crew for like easily 7 or 8 films. It's just one of those franchises. Star Wars, they're doing it a different way. They're doing the generational gap. So like at first it was Anakin, Luke, and now it's Luke and his kids. See how they're doing that trilogy by trilogy? I just think that these Star Trek films, I think that I really wish that Paramount had made Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, Simon Pegg, all these guys. I really wish that they had them signed on for like 10 films. Man, 10's a stretch, because Carl Urban is like 40-something. Make it 6 films. I wish they really signed on for a 6-film deal. But most of the cast, has signed on for 3 films. So that means if they want to keep going with the characters that they're kind of have to do, if they're going to have a 3rd, a 4th, and 5th film, they got to sign them on quicker. They got to really get these guys going. They got to say, you know what? Look, we're ready. We'll sign on for a 4th and 5th one. We'll do it. We'll keep going after that. Blah blah blah. Whatever we got to do to sign on, we'll do it. Obviously, they'll have some contract negotiations and get more money, whatever the case may be. Anyways, that's a little bit of background on the Star Trek front of movies and stuff. Also, Star Trek Beyond recently had some stuff about it, and they said Spock and Bones are gonna have more screen time together. I find that to be very interesting. How because think about it, we've had Kirk and Spock heavily in the first one. We've had Into Darkness. We've had in Star Trek Darkness. It was just the crew doing their thing. I think this is a good move though to have Spock and Bones together. You know, having more dialogue between the two of them. So because like that way, you can have how to put it. You can have a different angle between the relationship between the two of them. I don't know if this is gonna be a darker film or not. You know, like could it be like a someone dies and stuff. You know, I don't know if they're gonna do that route, but I mean they could. Either way, I'm really happy that that other characters are getting their time to shine in their movie. That maybe we haven't seen that before, and that's a good thing because maybe we're like, well, wait, but Spock and Bones, they haven't been able to, that they could please the fans is what I'm saying. So that will wrap up our Star Trek movie news segment. Here is what I like to call, I just call it Star Trek Other News. Sorry, I'm working on a title for that. So the other Trek news that I have, we're going to go into it, is the Star Trek TV show that a fan pitched way back a few months ago. For those who don't know, a fan pitched a Star Trek TV show to Paramount, and he said, "Look, this is what I want to do. I did not get those interviews though, so I don't have the details, the specifics. But yes, there's a Star Trek TV show could happen again. So it would be the 6th TV show in the Star Trek franchise." That could be bad, depending on which way they look at it. If they want to have like a Enterprise kind of feel to it, they could do like, hey, before Chris Pine was Captain Kirk and stuff like that, they could do like a Chris, why not do like a Captain Pike, like 2 or 3 seasons. That way, it's in the same universe as the new films, but it takes place beforehand, because that's what they did in the original series. They had the original series, it ended, then they made Star Trek the Motion Picture, and they went from there. Why not they do the same kind of formula, but they have Star Trek, Captain Pike, 2 or 3 seasons, and then that builds up to maybe Chris Pine will make a few episodes, in the later season. That's just my idea. That could be a show worth watching, because then you have the movies now, you have the TV show coincide, but beforehand. Because I'd rather see, to be honest though, I don't want to see a continuing story of a TV show with the cast we already have. I'd rather have a prequel in the same universe. That way, we're not building ahead and then we're like, wait, we didn't get there yet. We have all these spaces to fill. That way it doesn't run into that problem. I think that having this Captain Pike 2 or 3 season show, that would be pretty cool. I would love that. Maybe they could do like a Deep Space Nine spin-off type show where like while the Enterprise is doing that thing over there, they have like a 2 or 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine over there. Like Deep Space obviously. I don't know. They can go a million different ways. Excuse me. I mean, they can go many different ways with this. But otherwise, that's the updates on the TV show, and that's a little bit of my thoughts on it. So there you go. And also, one other thing I wanted to cover before we sign off on this episode of Trekkies is that we have, we have comic books, Star Trek comic books. I will just give you a quick update on them. There's nothing new about them. I figured I'd give you an update on them. Star Trek comic books. There's now the ones I primarily focus on are the IDW publishing of Star Trek comic books that take place after Star Trek 2009 and before Star Trek Into Darkness and after Into Darkness and before Beyond. So it fills those gaps of like, hey, there's a Romulan Klingon war. There's like a Jane T. Kirk and a Spock, female Mrs. Spock, like weird stuff like that. I just wanted to say this for those who don't know, there's 10 volumes of this Star Trek comic book series that's been going on for a few years now at IDW Publishing, and I figured that if you're a Star Trek fan, you love the new show, and you love other parts of the franchise as well. There's different stories in that universe that you could check out. And not only that, there's also a Star Trek Next Generation continuing stories. Where like, hey, I forget the name. I think it's Next Generation Hive or something like that. You know, something really cool like that, where you have like Picard's doing this after the events of All Good Things Come to an End. You know, that stuff like that. Like after the series finale, they have continuing stories and stuff like that. Just a little plug for IDW Publishing, just comic books and stuff. So yeah, just a little plug for that. So there you go. So that will do it for us on this episode 2 of Trekkies. So for all of you Star Trek fans out there and who want to see another episode soon, like the video, subscribe to the channel, do whatever you got to do. For Trekkies, live long and prosper. And for the Super Review Show, I'll see you later.